Ray's Sports and Slams is a Boink Studios production. And now, on with the show.
What's up, everybody? We are back at it. Ray's Sports and Slams, brought to you by BoinkStudios.com. BoinkStudios.com is where you can find all the hottest podcast shows. Tom Clark's 6M podcast, Tom Clark's Main Event, The Patton Report, Bachman's Basement. And, of course, we start the week off with your boy, Ray, all day. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. I hope everybody had a beautiful weekend. I hope everybody enjoyed the Super Bowl. We have a lot to talk about. Super Bowl was epic. Definitely something I was very surprised about. A lot to talk about, a lot to get into. So please, again, like, share, subscribe, boinkstudios.com. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on all social media platforms. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that like button. Hit the share button. I appreciate all the love. Back at it, my brother from another mother. Yes, indeed, Matt Garvin. What's up, brother?
What's going on, America? We are live again. Please like, share, and subscribe to Boink Studios. Yeah, baby. Super Bowl buzz. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And also coming to the stage, the man who makes car analogies better than anybody, Mr. Walter Duncan. What's up, sir? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm like a 97 Prius that just got a
Oh my goodness. Well, we have a big announcement to make as well. Walter is doing a LeBron. He is taking his talents to Ray's Sports and Slams.
Yes.
He is the third amigo. Thank you so much for being a personal asset and a huge component to our team. I'm happy for you, and I'm happy.
Absolutely, man. Welcome, my boy Walt.
Yeah. Glad to be here with you guys, man.
Yes,
sir.
Yes,
Glad
sir.
to be here, man. Let's do it.
Let's do it. We have a lot to talk about. Again, we can't emphasize. Please like, share, subscribe. Boink Studios, Ray Sports and Slams. We are here. All right. The first topic. I'm going to kick this off, and we have a lot to unfold. The Seattle Seahawks are your Super Bowl champions. They won last night in a game that was very, very, very unusual, little uneventful in the beginning, definitely picked up at the end. Halftime show I thought was amazing. I have a lot to say. So I'm going to kick this off, and I'm going to give you a full rundown of what I thought about everything. Then I'm going to head it off to Mack, and then obviously Walt. First of all, I want to say this. The New England Patriots, like I said last week, in my humble opinion, shouldn't have been there. Bo Nix broke his ankle, and Denver would have been there had this not happened. However, they played a defense that they've probably never seen before, and they faced a team that they haven't seen before, and I was utterly impressed that they just brought the thunder. Brett Maine looked like a deer in headlights. He looked very nervous. You could tell this was his first shot at the Super Bowl, obviously, but you could tell the pressure of a big stage really got to him at some points. Mm-hmm. And hey, kudos to him, dude. He gave it his effort. He threw a touchdown in the third quarter. I thought, okay, maybe he's going to do this. But then they came back with these side blitzes, corner blitzes. He kept throwing blitz coverages at him, and he couldn't adjust to it. Part of that is on him. Part of that's on your coach. Your coach has to guide you. Hey, they're coming this way. They're coming that way. Have another blocker in there, but, he just wasn't. Kenneth Walker, MVP in this 29-13 win. He rushed for 135 yards, 27 carries. He caught 2 passes for 26 yards. So he literally had 160 yards scrimmaging. Sam Darnold threw for 202 yards, 19 of 38. So it's a little 50%. He had no picks, and he rushed for a big whopping 5 yards. Brett Maine, on the other end, threw for 295 yards. However, he threw 2 bad picks. He threw for 2 touchdowns, and those picks were huge. And again, he did what he could do. He just couldn't adjust. Do I credit that to inexperience? Do I credit that to him just being a rookie? Yeah, that's a lot to do with it. But like I said, coaching has a lot of part to that too. You've got to lead your team to some success if you're the coach. In halftime, you've got to reassess where these blitzers are coming from, how we could bring another running back or a tight end to block. But they weren't doing it, and they just thought maybe we could get the ball off quicker. and that wasn't working. In terms of the halftime show, I liked Bad Bunny. I thought he brought a great message. A lot of the music I knew because obviously, you know, I have Latin in my family, so I knew a lot of the songs, but I just liked it as all. You know, at the end, it was like, we're all one country. Let's all just unite. It was a good message, so I was with that as well. And at the end of the day, you know, Seattle's the champs until the Rams come back next year. All right, Mack, I'm giving this to you. What you got?
Okay. All right, America. Well, thank you. I'm going to give a shout out to Alondra Dominique Garvin. I was on the show 3 weeks ago. My daughter sent me some info and said, Dad, I think there may be some divine intervention going on with the Seahawks. You guys can watch it. I brought it to the team. The lad at this point, and I guess history is absolutely right from the standpoint of divine intervention with the Vatican. Every time a new pope has been elected, the Seahawks have gone to the Super Bowl. They won twice. They lost twice. So the fact that for whatever reason why it was ordained already in the Vatican. So I will say that as something interesting. And they won. I had full confidence they were going to win. We all agreed the Hawks is defense. Listen, there is a quote, America, offense may get you points, but defense wins championships. We've heard it used, and we saw on full display, America, it was 9-0 going into halftime, and I'm looking around like, is anyone going to win this game? If this is what the final score is going to be, this is tragic. Now, here's what I will say, America. Keep this in mind also, too. It's sports, and there was a lot of things that was going on. It was now, Ray brought up a good point. It looks like Mayday, ship's going down, and he went down with the ship, and he didn't recover. Sam Darnold had never been a Super Bowl either. It came down to playmakers. The new dub for the Seahawks, the 12th man. Last time it was the Legion of Boom. They called themselves the Dark Side, and the dark side of the Force showed up. I must have said that to myself a lot of times. Fun fact, America, Leonard Williams, who's one of the defensive players for the Super Bowl. It just so happens that his father-in-law is Ronnie Lott. They had a talk before the game. He asked him for advice, turn off the noise, focus in, have a good time, be a part of the moment. And he listened, and he's a champion. So, I mean, kudos for the fact that Sam Darnold managed the game, but just like Ray mentioned, Mr. Kenneth Walker III, he's not related to Herschel Walker, America. We looked. He was the bell cow. He answered. He wore them down. And I said, if this man's not the MVP, it will be an absolute travesty. If they give it to Darnold, it'll just be for show. But he was the true MVP, and I was stoked to hear them give him the chip and hand off the MVP to him. So, yeah, amazing game. I enjoyed it. America, one last thing. My hometown is Washington State, so I have love for the Hawks always, but I am a New York Giants fan, tried and true. All right, Brother Walt, bring us home, brother.
Bring us home.
So look, I like how we were all in unison with our picks last week. Ray, you were pretty spot on with your final score, right? You said 28-13. It was 29-13. So,
wow.
And your daughter, we got to give her, props, Matt, because she put it in the universe. And it was, look, it was already preordained for the Seahawks to win, right? And it makes me think, about the Patriots. And, I said in our chat earlier, is Drake May really fake May? You know what I'm saying? And so, like, it made me think that, when you buy a car, and you buy a used car and you it's running nice and everything is good in the test drive, but then you take it off the lot, it depreciates, and then next thing you know, you realize you bought a lemon, right? And so here I am thinking that the Patriots were this great team, but we have to remember Patrick wasn't in the playoffs, Lamar wasn't in the playoffs, Josh was on a not so good Buffalo Bills team. So look, the Patriots got lucky, and
Bo Nix.
And Bo Nix got hurt, right? And so, you know, I congratulations to the Seahawks. They got their lick back, you know, that in the Marshawn Lynch commercial. He was like, you know, bitter tastes sweet, you know, and like with the as soon as they won the game. So that was fascinating. I used to live in Seattle, the Seattle area, Bothell, and I did some work for FEMA. So I had much love for them and everything. As far as the halftime show, I thought it was amazing to see, you know, the strides that the NFL has made to show the unison and the culture that is a part of American, you know, the American society now. And so I loved it personally. And, you know, I thought it was very unifying, you know, in a way. Right. So I liked it. So that's what I say.
Yeah.
All right.
And you know what? I'm sorry. I'll say one thing also too about halftime. It was great that he not only referenced Puerto Rican flag, but other parts of the Hispanic culture overall. So I will give him props for that as well. He goes, "This ain't about just me and the part that I represent," and the flags are in the background, and I love that. And Ricky Martin, big cameo. And I don't know if anyone watched for the Easter eggs. Jessica Alba was there.
Yes, she
Pedro
was.
Pascal was there.
Carol G
was there. So good props to him, man. Like he did his thing, man. So
and give him his props, dude. Lady Gaga, he bought the guns. So hey, kudos to him, dude. He bought it. All right, the biggest topic in the NBA is Anthony Davis. Unfortunately, he is traded again. Nico Harris screwed up again, and he is gone. He is traded to the Wizards. The Wizards acquired the 10-time All-Star from the Dallas Mavericks and a 9-player, 3-team deal designed to reconstruct both rosters. Washington received Jordan Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum. The Mavericks received Chris Middleton, Marvin Bagley III, A.J. Johnson, Michael Brennan, along with several draft picks. What do you think of this trade? Mac, I'm going to let you kick it off first, and then I'm going to let Walt go, and then I will go last. What do you think of this trade? And what does this say about the Wizards? What does it say about Dallas? Who's benefiting from this and how and why and all that stuff? Go ahead, Mac.
And listen, when Trae Young went to the Wizards, I said, wow, well, there's Destination Doom. They ain't got nobody. He went from a team where he was the only thing they had, and he's going to another team that had nobody. Now, for full disclosure, I mean, Anthony Davis, he's on the journeyman stuff, bro. When you start become this player and they see bursts of talent, but America, I've said this all the time with any sports. The best ability is availability. This guy is injured again. Yeah, again. I don't know if they'll be able to have him play for the rest of the season, but hopefully next year they'll try and figure out something. At least if I'm a Wizards fan, I at least have some star talent that's going to be on the team now, because up to this point they haven't. So I don't know who ultimately is going to win in the end. And I mean, Dallas, they're going through this. You know, you let Ozempic Luka go. They have to figure out something. They got to have people want to come to the games. Like, you know what I mean? Like you got to want to see the talent be on the court to play. And that's what I think is going to be the concern with these franchises. And still, I thought possibly in the trade going on that we would see a Giannis announcement, and I guess we're just going to do it in the offseason. I thought for sure with all the movement of these players, 9+ players, we all, I think, agreed on it's going to be a multi-team deal for it to work. It wasn't going to just be one team to one team. I know the Lakers were trying at one point also too. New York was a possible forerunner, and then we even thought for sure all our chips were in with Golden State, and it didn't happen. So I don't know who's going to win out of this, bro. I'm at a loss. I can't help you on this one.
All right. Walt, what you got, brother?
Look, I think that Dallas at the end of the day is going to be better off. They have, a young core. They have a young gun in Cooper Flag. The guy's a teenager and already playing at a high level, right? Competing, like showing out. I think he's just going to continue to get better, right? And I think Kyrie is still on their roster. He's just hurt, right? Because he hurt his Achilles. So they still have Kyrie and stuff like that. So they have some pieces over in Dallas, right? They add Chris Middleton, who has that veteran savvy and stuff like that. AD, he's had almost 300 injuries across 51 body parts in his NBA career.
Whew.
This comes from a guy, yes, 51 unique body parts that he's had injuries to.
That's officially Duncan Stater right there, boy.
And the last time he's played a full season or close to a full season was like in 2019, 2020. He played 62 games, but he's never really at any point played a full season. I think he played 70-something games when he was with the New Orleans Pelicans, right? But that's it. Like he's not, like you said, Mac, the best ability is availability, right? And so I think that even though Washington may have some star power in name, I don't think they're really gonna do anything there, right? You got Trae Young, who's gonna he's dynamic, but if Anthony Davis isn't gonna be available half the season, they're not gonna do anything anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Here's my thing. I think the Wizards are trying to tank, and I'm applauding it. I say applaud this tank. Let's get this tank going. Let's go. You want to get that guy from Kansas, Mr. Dickerson, to play for your team. And I think the Wizards are doing the right thing. AD's not playing the rest of the season. He's officially announced he's done for the year. I think he got a scratch on his finger, and he's done for the year. He's done. So Ice Trade's by himself. He's like my man with the soccer ball on the island. Tom Hanks. What's that movie?
Yeah, Castaway.
He's Castaway. He's on an island by himself. So I think the Wizards are going to tank this out, try to get a top pick. Like I said, the guy in Kansas is a beast, Dickerson. You get two good guards and Anthony Davis. If Anthony Davis can play 50 games, they'll be decent next year. Nico Harris, I feel bad for you. Like, this really looks bad now because it looked bad before you traded for Ozempic Luka because Anthony Davis got hurt. Now you're trading him, and you're trading for parts. You know, Chris Middleton. You know, kudos to Walt. Walt likes people that are like on the downside. I don't know why. Chris Middleton's he's a good journeyman. You know, give you 10, maybe 10 and 5. But Anthony Davis, though, I don't know what happened. I think when he won that championship in 2020, I think it drained the life out of him. He's never the same again, dude. I don't know what happened, but it is what it is. Let me say hello to some people out there. Eric Cologne, what is up, sir? How are you?
What up, E Nice?
And Jeffrey Peters here, AD banished. Wow, crazy. Wow, that's crazy. All right, we're switching gears, and we're talking about Tom Brady, and will he eventually make the Hall of Fame? As you know, Bill Belichick was not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Their owner, Robert Kraft, is probably not going to make a Hall of Famer. Not gonna make the Hall of Fame first ballot. They're saying, will Tom Brady? I'm going to go on record and say because it's Tom and he's the player, he will make it. I'm going on a limb and say he will make it first ballot. Does he deserve to make it first ballot based on your rules and your criteria? No, he does not. If cheating's the crime, he's committed it. If stealing's a crime, he's got the beeper going off in his pocket. He's got a whole bunch of stolen jewelry in his pocket. He's guilty. However, because it's Tom, and for some reason, there's special Tom rules. They invented a brand new football rule called the tuck rule.
Tuck rule.
In the middle of a game, they invented a new rule because it's Tom. That still bothers me. You know, I'm not holding in hostility, but nevertheless, it's a crazy situation. But yeah, I think he will make it just because it's Tom. All right, Walt, I'm going to let you go second, and Mack's going to be the Rivera. What you got?
I have to disagree with you here, Ray. I think, Tom Brady, because if you think about it, with that logic, Bill Belichick should have made it first time around too, right? So should have Robert Kraft. And so I think the writers or whoever votes for that are going to hold Tom Brady to that same standard potentially and say, like, no, we have to ding you, Tom, because you were a part of these teams that were caught up in Deflategate and all these different things, that like the tuck rule, all these different things that happened, and you guys were caught. So Tom, you may have the 7 rings or 6 rings or whatever it is, Lord of the Rings over there, but like you may have all those rings.
It's 7. He has 7.
You have an asterisk on your on your record, right? And I think people are going to hold, and we see it across different sports, right? Great players are still not in the hall or haven't become first ballot Hall of Famers because of certain things that they did along their career. And I think that is going to be the case for Brady as well.
All right, Mac, let you close this out. I know this is a topic you wanted to talk about. So, my
yes,
friend,
indeed.
Go, my friend.
Right.
Go, Mac, go.
Absolutely. So we're introducing Max Facts. All right. It is 7 Super Bowl championship rings he does have. Absolutely. And we're going to talk factual information here, America. We know for a fact that cheating was involved, unfortunately, with Tom Brady with Deflate Gate. It is documented, and he was fined and was suspended for 5 games because you did something that was against the rules of the NFL. Now, with that being the case, is he a Hall of Famer? No doubt about it. And everyone always had the controversy when he left. Is it Brady that won the chips or was it Belichick? Well, Brady went to another team and won another chip. Bill did not. And Bill ended up resigning 2 years after he left, and they were a dismal mess. And then he left the NFL, and the NFL said, we don't want this head coach anywhere, and he went to North Carolina. So those are the facts and reference to him. Now, the whole situation with Spygate, I don't think that's Tom's fault. That's why Belichick got fined personally and not Brady at that point. However, the Kraft organization, because he is employed by the Patriots, is why they got fined $500,000. And why Kraft didn't get in, and then our boy Belichick got personally fined $250,000 because you did something you weren't supposed to do. And just like Hall of Famers have all said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Well, unfortunately, they got caught. You have to pay the piper. Just like if all 3 of us were running down an alley and Ray tripped and fell and we were hiding and woo, and they got him. And then all of a sudden Ray says, oh, come on, Mack and Ray, they got us. Come on out, Walt, they got us. No, they got you. So
this happened to us in college. So Mack is talking about.
So America, the fact of the matter is this. I think he absolutely will not be first ballot. Unlike Stephen A. is very adamant, he got caught cheating. And he paid the price. And if it's against the rules, that means the Hall of Fame is about records, but it also is about integrity and representation of the brand. All right? This is what everyone's forgetting about. Reputation of the brand. Now, we all know Tom Brady's good for football. However, if we're going to be 100% transparent, this is a blemish that's not going away. And let's also remember Tom Brady's cell phone magically got smashed up and was not available for data to be retracted to show proof of the conversations of him having with ball boys about deflating the balls. That's something else, America, Max Facts, that y'all may not remember. And because of that, I think that should be enough to say, nope, you're going to get in, pal. He's going to get in second try. But for the fact of our 2 friends did not get in, Kraft and Belichick, for these allegations about the organization that he played for, I think it should happen to him as well.
Okay.
That's my.
All right. Well, at the end of the day, I just feel like he's going to get in because, like I said, dude, he finds a way to make it happen. I don't know why. I'm not saying you both are wrong. I just feel like he's going to do it. Renando, what's up, my friend?
What's up?
What up, Nando?
What's going on? Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for joining us. All right, our next topic, I should say, is the Hall of Fame class, which is now official. And the following people are officially in the 2026 Football Hall of Fame. Drew Brees, 13-time Pro Bowler, MVP, finished with 80,000 passing yards. Larry Fitzgerald, 11-time Pro Bowler, second in NFL history in receptions and receiving. Luke Kuechly is a 7-time Pro Bowler, 2013. Kuechly. I'm sorry, Luke Kuechly, 7-time Pro Bowler, 2013 Defensive Player of the Year. Adam Moneyman Vinatieri, NFL's all-time leading scorer, 4-time Super Bowl champion, and of course, Roger Craig, the 3-time Super Bowl champion and the 1988 Offensive Player of the Year. I will start this first. In terms of who I think deserves it the most, in my eyes, it's Larry Fitzgerald. He was always on an island by himself. He never had a Drew Brees throwing him the ball. He was 11-time Pro Bowler on his own merits, and he had less to work with and accomplished more with less, in my eyes. No disrespect to any of those other guys. Luke did it, but he had Killer Cam. Adam Vinatieri was part of all those championships with Mr. Thomas Patrick Brady. I hate when they say that. And, of course, Roger Craig had, of course, Montana, who was second behind Troy in greatness. So, yeah, like I said, I feel like if I had to define this class, who deserves it, in my eyes, it's Larry Fitz. Who do you got, Mack? And then, obviously, Walt, will go to you. Now, all deserve it, but who do you think really, really deserved it?
Okay. All right. So I'm going to give y'all some more Max facts. 100%. I'm with Ray, with Larry Fitzgerald. And the only reason I say that man played Max facts 22 different starting quarterbacks for his entire career with Arizona. No one, it was destiny. Yeah. And he should have left after his first contract. I have no idea why he wanted to stay there. Like, bro, they are trapped. His best year was Kurt Warner, and of course, and he said, you guys are complaining about some of your quarterbacks, but God doing what I dealt with. And that man was able to pick up nuances from other quarterbacks, 22 of them, mind you, and was able to still carve out a Hall of Fame career. Went to a Super Bowl. Unfortunately, made that touchdown going into third quarter. Everyone was like, here comes the Cards, they're going to do it, and they couldn't put it together. I think out of all of them, he had the most ability and played with whatever he had and had a great career. And you're right, Vinatieri, greatest kicker. I mean, listen, he won the Pats first one by himself.
You're breaking up, brother.
He went to the Colts and did an amazing job for them as well. I just think Fitzgerald, hands down, was the best out of the pile. Roger Craig, it took him 33 years. Max facts took him 33 years to get into the Hall of Fame. If they can't tell you're a Hall of Famer after 5 to 10, as far as the 10's been about, then you're not. It's 33 years is absolutely ridiculous to wait for them to finally say, okay, we'll let you in. I think there needs to be a revamp of the qualifications so they don't have this log jam effect that keep talking about with the Hall of Fame. And it's just absurd to wait 33 years. Man, 65. Half of his life is gone for them to finally say, we'll let you in. So, I mean, it's unfortunate. I mean, I'll give credit for the other guys. I mean, Drew Brees, first ballot, he got in, but he doesn't have any issues like Brady potentially may have. And the man, 80,000 yards, amazing. And then Luke Kuechly, I mean, he played for the Panthers. That's why a lot of people don't recognize him, but he was a great player. But let's be honest, outside of Ray was at Kuechly. Yeah, he's not a household name, but he got in. So kudos to him. But the one who absolutely deserves it, hands down, 100%, absolutely Larry Fitzgerald.
All right. What you got, Walt? Who? You're going to be the tiebreaker, or are you going to finally join our island? Let's go.
No,
he's going to go against the grain. Go ahead.
I'm going to go against it. I'm going to go against it here. Look, Larry Fitzgerald, if Drew Brees wasn't on this list, I would have definitely been on the same bandwagon as you guys, right? And the reason I say that, right, is because out of all these guys that were voted in, who played the most important position? Drew Brees.
Yeah, of course, quarterback.
Right?
Yeah,
so
okay.
I think when you look at his career, yes, he has the one chip. He but a lot of great NFL players have played and not won it all. You know what I'm saying? Dan Marino, my favorite quarterback. And Drew Brees had that terrible shoulder injury that everybody wrote him off. He bounced back, came through that, and he lost some arm strength because of that, right? And still beat the odds, came through, was really accurate with his he set records for accuracy and yardage, like you were saying, Mac. And I think that Larry Fitzgerald, he's world class. I think he's second only behind in some records, but only behind Jerry Rice, right?
That is correct.
So he is the real deal. And for him to have played with 22 different starting quarterbacks is wild. And for him just to have that success is crazy. That just speaks volumes to how great he is, right? But I think because of the importance of the quarterback position and what Drew Brees was able to do despite everything that he's gone through, I think I have to lean on that side.
All right, I have to rebut one little question because I knew you were going to go against the grain because that's just what you do. This is what Walt does. Let me. What team when Drew Brees won his Super Bowl ring? Who was on his team? Can you name like some of his players? America to hear about this?
He had
Darren Sproles,
Colston,
Sproles,
Meacham.
Okay,
Jeremy Shockey was the tight end, right?
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah, he was.
But
this was still good, Jeremy Shockey. This was before he fell off the cliff.
He won a chip. I didn't. Yeah. I mean, he left our team, the New York Giants.
Yeah, he won a chip.
I didn't realize he.
All right.
Wow.
So you look at those weapons. My point is, Walt, who did Larry Fitzgerald have? Nobody. Again, on the island by himself.
Didn't he have
22 quarterbacks. This dude played for 22 quarterbacks, according to Mack's facts, and that says a lot. But, I understand the position. I respect what you're saying. I do believe the quarterback is the toughest position to play in the NFL. However, it's a little easier when you got Colston, Shockey, Sproles, got some weapons. Fitzgerald had the guy that came to your house yesterday to paint your bathroom, the guy that went to Mack's house to put in that light fixture.
Carson Palmer. He played with Carson Palmer, too.
Yes, that's the guy that fixed my lights fixture yesterday. Carson Palmer. That was his name, right? He was there. Did a good job. I got to say, the lighting picture looks very nice. I like it. I like it a lot. So, hey, kudos to him, dude. But he did a lot. All right, going back to Walt's favorite sport, my favorite sport, hoops. James Harden is officially a Cleveland Cavalier. He is traded. That's right. The Clippers, the stepchild to the Lakers, traded James Harden to the Cavaliers for Darius Garland. The Los Angeles sent the 11-time All-Star guard to Cleveland for Garland and a second-round pick. All right. In my eyes, I think this is a good trade for LA. They're getting a pick, and they're getting Darius Garland, who's younger, and who knows what that pick will turn out to. I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I'll die on my stone. James Harden is a phenomenal player, probably a first-ballot Hall of Famer. When the playoffs come, where's Waldo? Where's James Harden? He is nowhere to be found. He's got a history of it. It's his moniker. He should get a T-shirt. Playoffs, what's that? Doesn't want to show up, don't want to play. I don't know what's happening. So kudos for them to make this trade because I feel like Cleveland has a shot to do something this year, and James Harden's gonna make you cry. Is gonna do this to them, and reverse that. Clippers have a chance to actually make the playoffs, and James Harden's going to do what he always does and not show up. Unfortunately, Cleveland's actually very good, and this is going to hurt them. So this will make New York's path much easier now. All right, well, you could go second because I know you're dying to talk how great Darius Garland is. So go ahead, bring him up. I know this is your specialties. Go ahead.
Actually, I think that Cleveland won this trade.
Okay.
I'm not going to say by a landslide, but I think that Harden definitely provides them a little bit of an upside over Garland. Garland is he's a solid player. He can score. He has handles, can dish the rock and stuff like that. But I think Harden, he still is like, I'm not going to say he's all-star level anymore because he is 36 years old, but he's like the level below that. He's still a star, right? And he can still play. He can still get fill it up and stuff like that. And I don't necessarily buy all the hype about him in the playoffs, right? Like I think he had a couple of bad playoff performances, but he has, I think 11 or 12. I think it's 11 career 40-point playoff games in his career, right? And he's averaged like over almost 23 points in the playoffs in his career as well, right? So he gets his points in and stuff like that. I think that is going to be beneficial for the Spider. I forget his actual name, but Donovan Mitchell.
Spider Mitchell.
Yeah, I think it's going to be beneficial for him. Cleveland didn't really lose any other people outside of Garland. They still have Mobley. They still have some other core pieces. They have that guy that can shoot the threes. I forget his name. I don't know if it's
I know you're talking about. Yeah, he's good.
He could fill it up too. I think they have a good core, right? So I think this is really, really good for Cleveland. LA, I don't think they're really going to do anything this year. The Clippers, they went on a little streak when Harden and Leonard were there together, right? Now they lost that piece of it. I don't know if Garland is going to help them do that. They still may be good because Kawhi is playing pretty good. He's like going back to old Kawhi. Mm-hmm. So he's looking legit. Mm-hmm. But I think I give the Cleveland Cavaliers the edge in this trade.
All right. Before I let Mac go, quick shout out. Maria, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. All right, Mac.
All right. So
go back to reality, please, and help me.
Help me, please. I'll bring us back, and I'm going to be in sync with Ray by saying James Harden will go bye when it comes to the playoffs, y'all.
I don't show up. I play one game. You need me for 7, but ain't no lie.
James Harden, bye. So listen, America, listen. I think Donovan Mitchell is going to benefit, but Harden, he might be turning to this journeyman like AD is, man. Like James Harden, like what? Did he ask for a trade again? Like he just got to the Clippers 2 seasons ago, and now he's gone again. Like, bro, like you. What's
apparently
wrong?
Him and Kawhi were having problems. Apparently, I'm not saying it's factual. That's the rumor.
Yeah. And why would you keep Kawhi? That dude, he can't stay healthy either. He don't talk. He ain't gonna give you no sound bites as far as the end of the games. It's unfortunate, but all right. So I'm gonna pitch this to my amigos here. What if I'm just saying if it's possible that our boy Mr. LeBron James decides to leave LA and go to Cleveland, where it's just his hometown, have a reunion with Harden be there and Mitchell. Would that be enough noise to get him over the hump?
No, yeah, but they'd have to trade somebody for him. Give me Donovan Mitchell for LeBron.
Mitchell,
Let's go.
But okay, so listen. We already know that the Lakers are having friction with LeBron James right now. Judy Buss is like, They traded his son, so he's not on the team. I'm surprised you didn't bring that up yet. But now the question mark is going to be is, will they just cut their ties with him?
Well, they didn't trade him. Isn't he in the G League, right?
Yeah, but I thought they let him go from their team.
No.
Or did he go back to the G League again?
No, he's back in the G League.
He's back in the G. Okay, all right, sorry.
So they're never going to trade his son. Are you crazy? Oh my God, dude! There's no shot.
He's not the heir apparent. He is not. We all know that.
All right, let me ask one quick question, and then we're going to switch topics. If you have 7 boards you need me to help carry in your house to put something up, and I'm really helpful carrying that one board, and I say, all right, have a good day, Walt. I see you later. Is that helping you? You're mentioning Harden putting these 40-point games up. Yeah, that's game 1. There's a 7-game series. What does he do in the other 6 games?
No,
that's what I'm talking about.
In elimination games, he's averaged over 20 points in elimination games. He's shown up. It's been inefficient, but there's other players who have been inefficient in some games. LeBron has had some off games in the playoffs where he didn't show up.
Yes.
Lots of people have had
Harden
games.
is notorious. No. Mack is telling facts.
Bro.
Fernando, James Harden is trash. He does this to every team every season. Look at that. Maria, James Harden is the worst teammate ever. He is. Yes. Maurice. What's up, Maurice? Thank you for watching. That's right. I'm telling you, I love Walt. He's optimistic. He just sees the good in everything, boy. He sees good in James Harden. I think that's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right. The next topic made my day. Santa is still around. Yes, that Santa Claus is still here because Gabe Vincent is gone. And, of course, the Atlanta Hawks traded him for the best three-point shooter in the league at 50%, Luke Money Kennard. The team announced Wednesday Vince appeared in 29 games with the Lakers. He's averaging about a whopping 4.8 points, 1.3 assists in 19 minutes. I say kudos to you, buddy. Thank you, Mr. Pelinka, for getting me a shooter that could actually shoot. This is a huge sell for the Lakers. Lakers are back now. You got Hillbilly Kobe, Ozipaluka, LeBron, and now you got Sniper Luke Kennard. Let's go. Gabe Vincent, see ya. Don't want to be ya. Happy you're gone. Thank you, God. Church is real. Prayers do work. Amen. Hallelujah. Praise him, praise him, praise him. I am happy now. Yes, yes, yes. You want to see me do a happy dance? Here we go. Happy, happy, happy. All right, Mac, I see you doing a happy dance. What you got?
Listen, it's sad. Like, Bray's like super stoked right now. This guy's ready to do a sub result. But I get it. When you see your team level up, you're like, okay, who we let go? Sure, no problem. Absolutely, you can have him. Like, you know, like, listen. So listen, the Hawks have to have somebody. They gotta get somebody. They let Trey go. Like, they gotta have a reason for someone to buy the tickets. Right now, they're probably giving them buy one. They're probably doing BOGO sales at the stadium, bro. Like, buy one, get one free. They come to a game, bro. Like, it's like, what? Okay, the Falcons are the only decent thing they got going on. I mean, it's I mean, the Braves are what they are, and the Hawks are their franchise for NBA. But who's coming to the games now? Yeah. Trey was it. They let him go for basically nothing. So
would you say this is a plus for the Lakers? Would you say?
Yeah, it's a plus for the Lakers, man. It's a plus for the Lakers. I'll give him that.
Duncan's data is here. What you got? Yes. What are you gonna say about this trade?
Look, it's pretty even to me, honestly.
Wow.
Luke Kennard, he's an elite 3-point shooter and everything. He's shooting at.
Can you look up his his 3-point shooting percentage right now? He's close to 50%.
He's shooting 48.9%. So
okay,
he's shooting really good from 3, but he's only averaging 7 points a game.
Okay, but he's what percentage from 3? 48%. And what's Gabe Vincent?
I understand that, Ray. Hold on, let me finish.
All right, go ahead.
So he's only averaging 7 points. So yes, what does that say? That he may be a great shooter, but think about this: like Duncan Robinson, right?
Okay,
he played for the Miami Heat. Really great 3-point shooter, but what else? What else does he do well? What else does Luke Kennard do well? Right?
So you want him for?
You could say he could shoot threes. Can he play defense? No. So that means he's not going to really get a lot of running time with the other fellas, right? That's why Luke Kennard only averages 7 points. So and then Gabe Vincent, he's right around 5 points average. So
what's his 3-point shooting percentage?
It doesn't matter about threes.
Oh my God.
It doesn't matter about threes, right? Like when it comes down to the point, Luke Kennard's not even going to be in the game when the game's on the line like that.
Wow. The data is talking, brother. Numbers.
Okay. I see. Okay. I will be Tom Hanks and be on the island by myself. Okay. Timmy Gonzalez, he's on my side. Luke Kennard is in purple and gold. Thank you, Tim. You know what? For being so good, you get an applause.
Oh my God.
Sure.
You are a wise man beyond words. Maurice says each team in each sport got to match up. Yes.
Yeah.
Match up. Luke Kennard matches better than Gabe Vincent. I agree with you. Thank you so much. You bring a valid argument. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I agree. For some reason, Walt doesn't like Luke Kennard. I don't know. Maybe he did something to you in the past. You two had an argument. Maybe you went to dinner and he didn't pay his portion of the bill. I don't know. But some reason Walt don't like Luke. I don't know.
Listen, Luke did not get a donut from our friend here, Mr. Duncan.
He's not.
Unfortunately, the numbers don't lie. Listen, it's time for Luke to make the donuts.
Oh, my gosh. All right. We have another comment. Eric Cologne, when you're averaging only 7 points a game, that means he beats all threes of your hosts. They don't even play in the MPJ. Get out of here. I don't like you anymore. Oh my God. I liked you, Eric. Now you're oh my God. All right. Our final topic is a topic that we discussed last week, but now it's becoming a little more. I'm not saying it's done yet, but it's looking closer and closer. I sent you guys a clip. Mr. Connor Ben and Mr. Shakur Stevenson are looking closer and closer to eventually having a big fight.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, Shakur Stevenson beat Timo Lopez just recently at the Garden. He called out Conor Benn, and he said that he wants this special dehydration clause. According to Shakur Stevenson, in November of 2025, a rematch between Mr. Benn and Mr. Chris Eubank, the champion at the time, had a strict 10-pound dehydration clause, which was enforcing, limited how much weight fighters could gain between Friday weigh-in and Saturday morning. The clause mandated that neither fighter could exceed 175 pounds on that fight day, meaning if Conor Benn walks around at 180, for Friday he has to go into 160. He can't come back on Saturday be 180 again. He's got to maintain this dehydration. Both fighters were restricted for putting on more than 10 pounds after the weigh-in. I think that Shakur Stevenson is smart because Shakur Stevenson's a smaller guy. Shakur Stevenson, to get to 160, is going to take everything he has to put on that weight. It's going to take a lot of dedication, a lot of hard work at the gym, eating the right foods, putting on the right muscle, because anybody can put on 13 pounds by eating 15 Big Macs, but to do it the right, healthy way, it takes a long time. You know, Walt and Mack, you guys work out, so I get it. We all work out. It's hard. So for Ben, he's walking around at 170, 175. He drops to 160 for the fight, and then on Saturday puts the weight back on, water weight, whatever weight he puts on. So Stevens is saying, hey, if we're going to do this, I want the same clause you gave to Chris Eubanks, because Eubanks was the bigger fighter at that time when Ben beat him. I'm going to let Matt go first. Do you agree with Shakur? Do you think Ben has the advantage? If they do end up fighting, do you applaud Stevenson for being smart and enforcing this hydration clause, or what do you think about it?
So, first and foremost, America, we had to talk about this before the show started, and I think this should be across the board for every weight class. This yo-yo effect of drop or gain, or drop and then put back on right before the fight, which would be your regular weight. I mean, and the biggest point I made, America, is this: that doesn't help punching power. Now, if you're dehydrated, that means you're not going to have as much vigor and stamina to go the distance in the fight if it goes that far. You're actually at a disadvantage being more dehydrated to try and make a weight. So for Ben, this is kind of put your money where your mouth is, because you did it. And Steven's like, hey, you know what? You did this with your one fight and it helped you. And so I understand why Stevenson is doing it, asking him. And Ben should agree, because he asked another opponent to do it and it helped him win, because he went up and the other guy went down and wait to meet in the middle. I think there should be a sweet spot of 165 as far as the weight class. Then it's not as much as a bigger effort for one versus the other to get there. I mean, Stevenson's going to have to, he just fought at 147, right?
147.
Yeah, 147. So for him to hit 160, we had to talk about this last week, America. For him to do it the right way, to be healthy, confident, weight, and not feel like you're slowing down because of these extra 13 pounds, he's going to have to bulk up, get in the gym, put muscle mass on, not just Big Mac weight, So he's going to have to do some work. Could it be done in 6 months? Absolutely, on both ends. And for Ben, he's going to have to do the opposite. He's going to have to train down. He's going to have to do more cardio to slim down as far as the weight and be comfortable at that weight to be it. So I think there's pros and cons on both sides for the men. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate the applaud Stevenson saying, I'm going to call you what you did out on the situation. And if Ben doesn't want to, then we already know what it is, America, because this will be Ben's next biggest fight. If not,
100%. All right, Walt, I hear you writing your Duncan data. What you got, and what do you think about this?
I think that Stevenson was definitely justified for saying that. My dad used to do some boxing, and some other people I knew did some boxing, and there was a term called weight bullies, right? It's when fighters who cut the extreme amount of water, water weight to compete in those lower divisions, right? And then, like you were saying, Ray, they would show up to the fight and mollywop someone in a lower weight class. You know what I'm saying? So I think Stevenson was definitely justified. I'm not sure if he's saying that Ben was doing that or had done that in the past, but that may be one of the reasons why Stevenson said that. I think that it will be a good fight either way. Stevenson has, elite defense, great jab, and, really, really mental game when it comes to the boxing side of it. So I think that Ben, he is powerful and he does have knockout power, but if you can't hit the man, you might not be able to beat him, right? And Stevenson may tire him out, and the fight may go the distance, or whatever. And Stevenson is a great counter puncher too.
Yes, right? He is.
So
he's
Ben
a southpaw.
Gets caught slipping. He hits him on the chin. Stevenson hits him on the chin, and he can knock him down a few times, right? So I think that I would love to see this fight occur. I think it would be great for the sport of boxing. I can't remember the last time that something this big happened, in boxing. And it would be great for the sport to get that hype and built back up, right? And I think that everybody, going back to that Jake Paul, Mike Tyson fight, I think that was the biggest thing that everybody wanted to see, right? And I think this would crush numbers. I think Ray, you said it would be like the De La Hoya Mayweather fight, Floyd fight, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Those type of numbers. And so I think it would do the same thing. And I think, I know I was saying at first, I was scared for Stevenson, but with the guy, his business savvy and how he trains and how he looks at stuff, man, I wouldn't put it past Stevenson to get a win against Ben.
Wow.
Right. Here's my thoughts. I feel like Stevenson's smart. He is turning. I'm not saying he is, folks, so please don't jump on me and attack me. He's turning into the businessman of Floyd Mayweather. He's thinking smart. Like Mack says, you did this with Eubanks. Eubanks was the heavier guy, the bigger guy. You made him drop weight. You made him sign this dehydration clause. So now, why shouldn't you do it? For Ben to make 160 is easy. Like I said, he's walking around at 175. He drops 15 pounds, weighs 160, puts it back on the next day at probably 172, 173. He's the bigger guy. Stevenson is going to take a lot for him to get to 160, and after the weight, he may drop to 155. It's going to be a much harder and bigger hill for Stevenson to maintain that weight. So yeah, I feel like, to Mack's point as well, and to your point, Walt, there's got to be like a middle ground. Like Mack said, I think it's a great argument. 165, and you have to weigh 165 on Saturday. Forget Friday. You can weigh 160 on Friday, but you can't gain more than 5 pounds on Saturday. That should be like a strict rule. If it's going to be a title fight and all the marbles, and this is a big pay-per-view, there's no way I'm going in there, with blinders on and letting Ben, come in at 175 and, beat the brakes out me. No, we got to find a middle ground. That's just not fair. It's not fair to him. It's a great potential fight. I think this would be a mega fight to Walt's point. This could be the best fight we're going to see in the last 10 years. This could be a really, really good fight. Conor Benn is huge in London, big in the UK. Everybody out there knows who he is. Shakur Stevenson is turning into the king. He fought in the Garden, not the theater. He fought in Madison Square Garden, headlined. So he's making waves. So yeah, I feel like this could be a big, big fight for both these guys. And I think, a middle ground of 165-ish should be ideal. My question to you, Mack and Walt, if Stevenson gains that weight, do you feel comfortable that he wouldn't lose punching power or be a little lethargic because he's never fought at that weight before?
I mentioned it. I'm sorry. You know what? I mentioned earlier, if you're putting this weight on, are you still able to move? He should be able to build. Well, okay. All right. So 145, 150, confident ability to move with the weight. 155, we're traveling. Is it going to be try and put it on all at the end and eat these 3 burgers and a loaf of bread to make the weight? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then feeling lethargic and sluggish. That is going to be the challenge, man. It will take him more work for Stevenson than Ben. Because you can always lose it, but it's hard to put it on the right way. I'm sorry, no. You can always gain weight. It's harder to lose it, but being that he's physically fit in shape, it's going to be harder, bro. Like I listen, but the payday will be worth it. So I think it's gonna be hard for Stevenson.
I feel you. All right, Walt, I'll get your last word on this.
I definitely hear what you're saying, Mac, and I honestly, I think that that's definitely true. It could be harder, but I think that, that's why you have the right nutritionist, the right strength coach. You get the right people in your corner to help you out and get those things going. They can get you where you need to be. Now, as far as him losing potential punching power or mobility, I don't know. I don't think he loses any power. I think he gains some power actually from putting on some muscle and stuff like that. But if he does it the right way, like you said, if he eats 3 Big Macs and a loaf of bread, like you said, Mac, then he's
to make weight.
He's gonna have the bubble guts. So there you go.
All right, gang, we're at the final buzzer. This is where you can ask us pretty much anything about anything. We go to the comments now, and Eric Colon says, "I've never heard of this type of clause before. How unique is that? Have you heard of this before?" No, this clause just happened recently with Chris Eubanks and Conor Benn. Like I said, Chris Eubanks was the heavier fighter, and Ben was like, if I'm going to fight you for the title, you have to make this weight, and you have to maintain this weight for 2 days. So he's basically invented this rule, kind of like, Tom Brady invented the tuck rule. Conor Benn invented the weight clause rule. So, yeah, it's very new. Fernando wants to know, Fernando wants to say, can someone explain to me what the hell my Bulls are doing? I have no idea, dude. Bulls are in trouble. I don't know. They didn't make any moves.
Yeah.
They're trying to get the
well, they're super excited for Jalen Rose's retirement ceremony. That's why PR can't do anything, because we're worried about Jalen Rose, who did 0 for the franchise and won nothing for the franchise. But we're gonna put him in the rafter more than Rodman deserves.
Rodman just made it. Rodman just made the Hall at Chicago. Oh my God, you and this, you have a thing with Jalen Rose. Yeah, dude, you don't like D Rose. I don't know why. All right, good question, Timmy Gonzalez. Shaq, Bill Russell, David Robinson, or Patrick Ewing? Who would you cut in their prime? Patrick Ewing, no problem. That's easy.
Really?
Oh, wait, over David, over Shaq.
I would cut David Robinson.
David,
I was gonna tell you why. If you look up who was most inefficient, the top most inefficient players in the playoffs, David Robinson's in the top 5.
Okay. Bill Russell's got rings, but he was never a massive. I mean, Bill Russell has got 11, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he is 11.
But
with plumbers and janitors, because that's the
exactly.
that's the big joke about those times.
Yeah, the game was different, man. I mean, I'd cut Russell personally. He was great for his era, but he wasn't a dominant force like all the other 3 dudes were. I mean, Patrick never won nothing, but I'm cutting Russell.
Maurice wants to know, can he probably be more effective with the jab with the extra weight? Good point. I mean, he's a southpaw, and he leads with his jab, Maurice. Yeah, it could definitely help. You guys, what you guys got to take? That's actually a very good point. I'm going to give you an applause for that.
Yeah. Now we're talking about.
He's talking about Stevenson.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're right. Obviously, just like Walt mentioned earlier too, with the right people around, if I'm gonna have this weight, how can I improve my punching power? There should be someone who can teach him how. Like, you know what I'm saying? How can I use this weight to my advantage that I'm gaining that I didn't have before? And just like I said before, way back when. I mean, with the issue with baseball, I'm backpedaling, y'all. The whole deal with Roger McGuire, Bonds, steroids and PEDs does not improve hand-eye coordination. May have improved their mass, but if you can't hit the ball, you can't hit the ball. So with this guy's ability to improve their punching power, they'd have to show him how it can help him. You know what I mean? Because the weight won't mean anything if you still have never knocked out an opponent ever. So, yeah.
All right, we'll go to last comment. Check out the movie The Cut with Orlando Bloom. It's about fighters' extreme weight cut a few days before the weight. It's crazy. Yeah, it's very dangerous. I feel like putting on 13 pounds. I didn't see that movie, but I've heard about it. I heard it's very good. Have you seen it, guys? Either one of you?
No.
No, but there's a documentary that talks about this issue with boxing as far as like weight class and extreme hydration. Like some dude to make weight had to cut all of his hair off his head, which was a difference of 1 pound.
Ooh.
but then lost. No, it was MMA fighting. It was in reference to MMA fighting, making weight.
All right. All right, gang. Well, that is a wrap for today. I want to thank you guys again for joining us. Please like, share, subscribe. BoinkStudios.com, Race Sports and Slams. Mack, I will let you say your parting words first. What you got to say and talk your talk, my friend.
No problem at all. Listen, America, as usual, we love all of our comments. Please like, share to and to Boink Studios. I want to give a shout out to my fraternity Omega Psi Phi. We had 4 NFL players for the Seahawks were playing in the game, so I love the fact that the bros represented on the biggest stage. Other than that, America, please like, share, and subscribe to Boink Studios.
All right, Walt. Now you're an official member of the squad. What do you want to say? And
look, go ahead.
No, and obviously promote your other brands because we're all about love here.
Man, look, I'm happy to be a part of the team. I'm happy to bring some different conversations and different angles and viewpoints. And I'm so lucky to be able to be asked to join the team, man, because you guys are killing it. You always bring the fire. So I'm glad to be here and be amongst this awesome team at Boink Studios and Race Sports and Slam. So I'm happy to be here, man. So look, if you want to learn about payroll, check out my podcast with my boy Brian. It's About Payroll. You can go to it'saboutpayroll.io, and anywhere that you stream podcasts, search It's About Payroll and you'll find us. Thank you.
Thank you, man. All right, gang, that's about it. Thank you again for joining us on Race Sports and Slams. I want to thank my 2 guys, Mr. Matt Garvin and Mr. Walter Duncan, for joining me again today. Great, fantastic show. A lot of good topics. We'll have more to talk about next week. We're going to obviously cover a lot of NBA next week. May even hit a little bit of baseball. You never know. BoinkStudios.com, Race Sports and Slams. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate it. Love is love. And I will see you next week.